Run that shit.
Let's get it! Episode 26 of the Talk Free Podcast. I go by the name of Glorious Sin.
DHPOV.
Show off. I'm here. You know. What up?
What y'all niggas got, man? What's up?
Man, listen, man.
What's going on in this world, man?
I ain't really know that dudes was that nice though at ball. Like, I don't understand how some dudes don't be making it to the league, but they're unstoppable anywhere else though.
The NBA,
like,
the NBA.
I feel like there's dudes on the bench that are trasher than dudes that we've seen in person.
Nah, I think niggas in the league, you got
connections.
It's just the best of the best. Like, if you think about it, the league, every team only has like 10 to 12 people. That's true. So that's not a lot of. It's not like a lot of people that play in the league.
It's not like the NFL.
Right, which means is you got to be the best.
It's still 32
of
teams,
the best.
but it's like 60 people on the team, plus the practice squad.
I'm talking about the NFL.
That's what I mean.
See,
like,
yeah, the NBA ain't got no practice squad
chances.
because basketball is all about skill. NFL is about will.
Right.
You could be the most skilled player, but you don't get no burn because you don't got the will. Like,
right,
you got to.
You might be a tough player to practice against.
Right, basketball. You don't have to have any. You don't have to care about being. You don't have to care about basketball at all and still be the shit. You can. There's niggas that smoke weed and play bad. Like, they get caught. Like, they get drug tested and, you know what I mean, smoking weed, playing basketball. Sure. Like, it's all about skill. You could be skilled and not really give a fuck and be that nigga. Right, so what I say is basketball, you ain't making the league unless you got extraordinary skill or extraordinary athleticism, or you just got the heart of a lion, like a Patrick Beverley. Like, he got the heart of a lion. Like, he'll probably fight a lion. If a lion was in his crib, he would fight.
And he gonna be barefooted too at that.
Oh, yes, and he might win, dog.
Yeah, he might
with his hands.
Patrick Beverley might win.
Yeah,
so
his bare hands.
That's kind of
playing no fucking games, bro.
Yeah, that's just what the league's about. But all right, fuck that. Y'all seen that shit that was going on in Charlottesville and shit?
Man. Yo, that's what I definitely wanted to get on that.
Let's get into it, man. Because listen, what they was arguing about taking down the Robert E. Lee statue.
They was talking about taking a statue down.
They were talking about taking a statue down.
Which is Robert E. Lee was the Confederate the leader of the Confederate, which
really
lost
care.
the war.
I don't care about the
statue.
statues, to be honest. I don't see the thing that don't bother me because that's been there. You know what I mean? What bothers me is just the symbol of the flag itself.
The Confederate flag.
The Confederate
flag. But that's
flag.
what he stands for. So he is the flag.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, that shit's been there. Like, why we want to make a fuss now about the statue? My thing is this. It's about them trying to march around like shit is sweet.
Well, they marching it down. They was marching around because we were trying to take it down.
But the thing is, they trying to say that the flag is American and taking it away is un-American. But at the end of the day, when the Civil War was happening, South was not trying to be a part of America.
No,
they wanted to be their own.
They wanted to run shit their way.
That's why they had that flag. You know
Confederate.
what I mean?
It was the Confederate flag and the American flag.
Yeah. So why are people saying like it's un-American? They didn't want to be a part of America, and they obviously do terroristic things when they kill people with the KKK, that Nazi shit,
neo-Nazi, which is crazy stuff. Because the United States fought against the Nazis. So you would think American way would be like fuck the Nazis.
What's going on? What's
But here's the thing. Here's what I came to the conclusion as.
What is going on?
All these neo-Nazi niggas, one of two things, a couple of things happen. They either got their mom, their sister, their job, or their spot on their sports team taken by a nigga.
Right.
They don't want their country back. They want their bitch back.
Right.
None of these niggas seem like real neat, like the ones from the movies that look like real neat. Yeah, these dudes just look like, y'all taking all our bitches, y'all taking our jobs, y'all taking our spots on the golf field. We want our shit back. Like, they don't even seem like
we
they
don't
hate us.
To compete. We don't even compete. Y'all competing against each other.
They look sad. Like, they didn't even look like.
Right. And if we ain't got the money to manage y'all, we out of it.
They didn't even look like, I want my country back. I hate y'all.
It
was
like nerds.
Y'all bleeding us dry.
They look like nerds.
Yeah, bro. And if you think about it, the silver lining I seen in this was that the people fighting against them, what skin complexion were they?
White.
Mm-hmm. Even though now this could be for political gain, but Mitt Romney, all these other politicians came out and was like, yo, this shit is drawing. Like, this is not. So the thing is, it seems like, now granted, Trump had played a lot to do with like the uprising of these type of groups, but
yeah, he did.
It's such a small amount of people that think the way they think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
media blows it up.
Right. It seems big. Now, it is fucked up that it even
affects everybody.
Feels like they can come. The scary part is they feel like they can come out without a mask on. Like they feel that empowered that they don't even got to wear the KKK shit no more. They can just show you their face and go to work the next day.
But you know what it is though? Like you said, Trump made this shit okay. He made it okay to make them feel comfortable doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like they wasn't doing it before, but these same people are the same people, like you mentioned, that work with you. These are your neighbors.
Facts.
These are the people that went to school with you. So at the end of the day, I mean, somebody made a post on there like, yo, if you involved or you support this shit in any way or talking about your family, I can't fuck with you.
Right, and there's ways
Right.
to handle it. Like they're gonna take the statue down. Okay, they don't gotta trash it. Just put it in the museum and say this was a statue. It was here, and
a
this
part
is
of
why it
history.
was taken down.
Yeah.
That's a part of American history.
was a part of
Moving
American
on
history.
and compromising both sides. You know what I
Facts.
mean? You can't just
They can protest and say not to take the statue down, but when you bring race in it,
right.
start
as far as
beating-
talking about white
beating people.
supremacists and all that,
Yeah,
that's the
and-
disrespect. Because at the end of the day, I salute all them people who had to go through the slavery and all that. Like you know, to be not saluting them, but I'm just saying like I appreciate what you went through for me.
Yeah, because
But
they
if
had
y'all
no
think
choice.
that shit is going down right now, I'm telling you right now,
It's gonna be a civil war.
it's gonna be crazy.
It's not even it is not even close to like if you take 10 white people out of a room, 5 of them at least are gonna say y'all motherfuckers is drawing. So think about it. Not only would it be all the black people, it would be 50% of the white people.
Right,
At
right,
least.
right,
I
right,
think
right.
it will be like 60,
It's
70%.
just like we don't know who.
That's the scary part is
Yeah,
we don't know
we don't know who.
So
And
they
then-
feels
they
that
come
way.
blend in one day and they
Right.
they can really infiltrate.
Infiltrate.
infiltrate,
Right.
let you know,
Yeah.
set it up, and then try to take out millions. It only takes
Yeah.
one to mess up one thing. So you gotta be careful. But what made me mad about it is when it first happened, right? Because this shit happened like it started last week in Virginia, right? When it really started, they didn't make a big deal about it. You didn't hear about it on TV and all that. But my boy Kaepernick can't even get signed to a football team,
Right.
Because he's kneeling down or he's taking a knee.
And
That's what he believed in. And I didn't know in 2008. We didn't even have to come out for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
So we don't know who was really standing or saluting when
Right.
the flag was.
And I feel like all these battles that's happening, Trump versus the people, Kaepernick versus the people,
Yeah.
I feel like it's all just the same battle, but just different titles. Black or, just like that, the black culture versus the white culture.
I don't want to
just
say
like-
it's the same battle. I feel what you're saying. I don't want to say it's the same battle. I find it disrespectful, especially when you bring up the Kaepernick shit, because this man has been going through everything he had to go through, but we're making it seem like it's okay for this white supremacist stuff to come out. We're not frowning upon it. Our leader, Trump, is not making it seem like it's a bad thing. When he apologized, he didn't even apologize. He said, I think it's wrong on both ends.
sides, yeah.
Who the hell are you talking?
Yeah,
well, yo,
right.
how
Why?
is it
How
wrong
is
for
that-
us?
Right.
But then when we act aggressive, it's an issue.
Yeah.
But that's such a disrespect based off of what
Right.
we've been through. He could have been like, you know what? That should have not happened. And as a leader, we should definitely, stand against them. We are united. We
They
are
should have
one.
focused on made them terrorists. You know what I mean? But if it was a bunch of black people, they would have called them terrorists
Terrorists. We can't walk around with torches. They had torches on the campus.
and was shouting.
And guess what? Cops would just stand down. When it's up to us, it's one person, and y'all shooting and killing us. They would have had a massacre out there if it was us.
Right.
So I'm saying at the end of the day, it's a lot of, stay woke. That's been the quote.
And Max
Stay
Kellerman
woke.
said, "Why isn't there any if there's how many white players in the league? Why isn't there any standing behind Kaepernick and saying he's right?"
Nobody wants to fuck up their money.
Yeah, that's
At the
what
end
it
of the
is.
day, I don't even now. I'm not saying race doesn't play a factor. I mean, I think that's two totally different things. Like the Trump not denouncing the white supremacist shit is because Trump don't give a fuck, and he might think the same way they think. Like I don't think that's.
But you see
Anything-
how it's
the-
always been a one side versus one side. Like every month, it's been cops versus the people. It's been Democrats versus Republicans. It's been white versus black. It's been terrorists.
That's what the country
versus,
was built off of. It started off Cowboys versus Indians.
Yeah,
Like it's
true.
always about like
cops and robbers.
small little wars and battles. Like the country's built off battles. It continues to thrive off wars with Iraq and taking the gas
And all this stuff brings us to social media and what they do, put ads in our face. There's money, man.
But they were saying it's crazy because if you go to the Huffington Post website to where they're denouncing this white supremacist shit, but when you want to go to click on the video, you got to watch an ad first. So everything is about money. So I even think like that Kaepernick shit,
They made a video. I don't mean control, but they made a video on Vice on HBO.
I didn't see. I heard of it. Yeah.
That shit came out within 5
Yeah.
hours of it came out the same day of that Charleston
Yeah.
stuff. They
Yeah.
went there to record everything.
It was a documentary
And that
of what,
night,
the white
They had a
supremacy?
documentary made up
Yeah.
of what happened in Charleston.
Yeah.
Because they already knew it was going to happen. And you know where they went? They went to Virginia. I don't know if you know, Virginia is the original
Yeah, civil
state
wars.
of slavery.
And
so they
Civil
went to the
War.
home. Yeah. And they were nationalists. So these are people who don't even live in Virginia. These niggas probably been planning this for like
Yeah.
Well, because it
Years.
started when the whole we got to take the Confederate flag thing go down, right? So
when was this? That was
that was a while ago. It was like last year sometime, or maybe even before that. But I
Right.
think the reason why I got into why it got bad is because then the other people was like, nah, y'all not gonna just become and stand behind this Confederate flag. Now we protesting against y'all protesting, and that's when it became violent. Like it wasn't violent if it was just the people just protesting, like, no, y'all shouldn't take the Confederate flag down. That's when the opposing side came and said, nah, motherfucker, like this has nothing to do with America. Y'all saying Nazi and like America fought Germany. Like that is crazy. Like it's so backwards. Like y'all say y'all American and get out of our country. Well, our country fought Germany, and then
What's
like,
the difference between a Jew and a Christian? Like, what's really the big difference?
I don't.
understand.
I honestly, I don't think
I
I'm
can't-
qualified.
Why do they hate Jews?
I don't not even.
why do America hate the Jews?
Why does Germans?
Whatever
why do
them people,
Germans hate
whoever them
Jews?
people.
Oh, the Germans hate the Jews. It's something
Germans-
deeper
them-
than that.
them neo-Nazis,
It's no different
them
than why
neo-Nazis,
why
them-
why do
them
white people hate
KKK
black
people
people?
hate Jews
Why do white people hate black people?
because of their skin color.
Yeah,
but
well,
Jews, are
Jews
the
had
same
long
color.
nose and they supposedly were like so good with money, and I think
Yeah.
it was threat. I think it's no different. You're threatened. You're threatened. Like
Yeah.
all these neo Nazis and all these motherfuckers protesting, they're threatened by.
They're dumb.
They're threatened. Yeah, probably because they're dumb. Maybe that plays a factor. Because think about it. Like it goes back to what we were saying two or three episodes
to be
ago.
on some Viking shit. I want to take you, rape your wife, make her work for me. You work for me, and I just do whatever the fuck. That's what they want to
No,
do.
what it is none of these motherfuckers even know what it's like to have slaves. First of all, half of you motherfuckers ain't rich enough for slaves. What fucked up is only like 2% of the world even had slaves during slavery. The rich motherfucker had slaves, and the poor white folks was poor white folks. And the reason why they like slavery is because even though they was dirt fucking poor, they can still say they was better than a black person. So what happened is once black people got free, now those poor white people became
same
the
as me.
bottom of the barrel. No, not even you're the same. Because the black people
Worked hard.
because
Right.
they had that but
They had the skill,
They had
yeah.
the skill. These people was dirt poor.
Right.
They couldn't compete with the slave owners because the slave owners got free labor
And
and
sometimes
fast
they
labor.
work for the slave owners.
Sometimes
too.
they had this for literally nothing. Like there
Right.
was people who were basically
Right.
white slaves back in the day
Right.
too.
And I mean, it's the same thing today. That's why I feel like even in the workplace, sometimes like jobs I've worked at, you work beside a white person and they feel like I shouldn't be here. I should probably be above you. You know what I mean? Because it's like that's just how America's instilled it in us that the black
Yeah.
person is kind of below the white person. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we've always seen that. No offense, but you know, a black person kind of works a little harder.
Right.
And sometimes it's sad to say I do feel like we work harder, but I really think it's just that as black people we had to establish a skill set. It was upon us. We didn't
Force.
have an option.
Right. Nah,
You
you're
know,
right.
like some people were privileged, and when they say privilege means you already had things already for you. You don't
Yeah,
have to
right.
work for shit.
Right.
We had to work for it, and our parents, most of our parents, try to give you that skill set, whether it was hustling. The
Right.
streets, where we come from, it's so even niggas who sell drugs, that's not a skill set. It is a skill set because
Oh,
we had to
yes.
learn how to hustle
Right,
and get that
right,
money.
right.
We had to learn how to have the street smarts not to get psyched out. So I just feel
Right.
like for
It's
us,
still stuff you have to learn.
yeah, we got skills, and that's the thing that they don't have.
Right.
Hey, how are you? You want some? Yeah, we got food in here. You want some chicken? We're cooking. Everything for them was easier.
So they didn't have to establish
Yeah, they
that
didn't have to.
quote unquote hustle. And like you said, like we had to quote unquote learn how to hustle because it was like, all right, now slavery's abolished. Figure it out. Like it was no real reparations. Like there was probably I read a little bit about it. There was some small shit that was supposed to be assisted, but it wasn't nothing impactful to where it was like, okay, here's how you actually survive in the world when you don't have a master. So all we had to just figure shit out, like you said. And we had to do sometimes illegal shit because we didn't know how to do anything. So we had to do just what seemed to make sense. Oh,
Right.
motherfuckers like this. Oh, let me try to find this and
Yep.
sell it and flip it and do things like that. So that's why we have some of those. But that's what made us like you said, quote unquote, more skilled or hustle more. And now there's the certain demographic of white people that was in that march probably aren't that successful. They're the white people that was like, man, back in the day, we could just own somebody and life
Yeah.
was quote unquote easier.
Yeah, that's what they
It's not
see.
even really about like, oh, I think you're lesser than me. It's just like, man, like back in the day, I could just
Yeah.
own you
Yeah.
and my life would just be
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
I wish I could live that way.
Right.
You white motherfuckers, don't know shit. Like, you don't even know. Like,
Even know
none of
how
you
hard it
niggas
was
could
to-
even
to-
afford a
to-
fucking slave. So
or
you
to
motherfuckers
keep-
wouldn't even be a slave owner.
Or to have that mind frame that I'm gonna kill somebody if they don't. You know what I mean?
You
Do
motherfuckers
it.
is scary.
Or to be able to fight a fucking
But-
a big ass black man who's mad as shit at.
But the thing is, they know they can't. And at the end of the thing, it's just like, stay woke is all I keep saying it because it's some real ass shit. Like, that slavery stuff was crazy because we didn't know at first. We didn't know. We knew we could fuck them up, but we didn't have that plan. But
And they was killing your family.
remember Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, but they snuck in. That's how they was getting people. They snuck in with that priest stuff. You know, bless you. You know, they it was like welcoming. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They welcome you just like you welcome somebody in your house.
Get
then,
out.
Then they sneak in.
The movie
then-
Get Out.
Yeah, you feel me? So that's how they
And
did
they
it.
had weapons.
And they'll
I mean,
threaten your
simple as
family.
that.
They had-
I'm
they
gonna
had
kill
weapons.
your
Weapons.
kids.
Now we all got
I'll
weapons.
kill your
gonna kill
kids. Let me fuck your
kids.
wife.
So
Yeah.
so they take you and you think I'm gonna get out of this, but you just never do.
Yeah.
So then you know, but at the end of the day, they was saying that over here, is where majority of like black people were, like the Indians and stuff, that indigenous people were really black because they're saying that a lot of people didn't really make it on that ship.
Right.
Like people were really dying.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I'm
were
saying?
dying, famine, all that
So
type of shit.
how could they have populated so fast? They saying that they, you know, there was people already over here that
Well,
they
they
were
bred
taking.
them too.
Yeah, that they were taking. You know, they
I'm
came
sure,
over
and I'm
here
sure they bred them with some Indians too.
This how they said. This how they said they.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They went over in Africa and took people. They came over. They came over here and did the same stuff. You know, peace be upon you.
Yeah.
All that Thanksgiving stuff, and then
Yeah.
they.
Slavery.
Yeah,
Yes.
they started taking
Indians
people
was,
into
I'm sure
slaves.
Indians was. It wasn't
'Cause,
just African slaves. It
You
was
know,
Indian
if
slaves
you
too.
was darker than me, you're the enemy.
You was
Yeah.
You're the enemy.
Yeah. And ultimately, it had nothing to do from the get go. It had nothing to do with their skin. It had something to do with the fact that you weren't smart, but you guys look strong. I have like whether it could have you were
No,
just
but it
different.
did have to do with skin, though.
You were just different
But
than
it
me.
did have to do with skin though because they said
There were
that
white
once-
slaves back in the day.
I know, but it was harder to tell.
I'm
You know
talking
what I
about not
mean?
even in America.
Oh, I got you. I
If
got you.
if those black people in
Right.
Africa
Right.
had guns and money, do you think they would have still tried to make them slaves? No, because
Nah,
they wouldn't have been
didn't.
able
They
to.
didn't. You're right. They
You see what I'm
started
saying?
trading
So
guns and
yeah,
stuff.
it has something to do with the fact that they were black, but
Right.
it had more to sort of fact to do that
No,
we can
but
overpower
they said that
y'all.
people in Africa made guns, but they didn't use them to kill people. But the Vikings and stuff, they started using it for evil.
I'm just saying,
I
obviously
don't
they
know.
were
I don't
stronger
know.
because they put them on a boat. A lot of them got on the boat from Africa with chains. It's not
Right.
like you was on a boat and then they put the chains on
Right,
you.
but I mean, in America, there was already people here.
Right, but what about the people they brought over? They put them in
I
shackles
think they brought
over
them
there.
over here to because they knew they were distinct difference. Like these are black
So
people.
if they had bazookas and shit, do you think they would have been able to do that?
oh no,
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
I
So
got you.
so that
I got
okay,
you. I got
they
you.
were black,
So
but they
knew-
were black and kind of
And-
and not they
all
they
living
didn't
off of nature.
They didn't have what the
Yeah,
they didn't
I got
have
you,
what
I
they
got
had.
you, I got
So
you,
what I'm
I got
saying
you,
is
I got you.
if it could have been Chinese people.
Yeah.
If they was broke without guns, we was bringing you motherfuckers over. Now
I got
now of
you,
course
I
I,
got you,
think
I
the
got
black thing played a factor because they were probably strong and they probably
Right.
looked like, oh, you're kind of like my horse.
Right.
Like my
Yeah.
horse is big and it can
Yeah.
pull shit.
Yeah.
You're big, you can
Yeah.
lift shit.
Yeah.
And you ain't got guns, I can
Right.
force you over here.
Right.
Trust me, if these black motherfuckers had the
It wouldn't have
I
happened.
don't know if it would have happened like
They would
that.
have took them niggas.
Yeah, I think it would have been more of a war. And if
Yeah.
we lost the war, then they would have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't
Nah,
I don't
got
think
you.
it was a war.
It was just like their civilizations. They was taking them probably from poor places like that.
Poor,
Cause there was
right.
probably rich places in
kings
Africa.
and shit, yeah.
But then there was probably them, the places where they could just come in.
I think
and take
some
them
people
away.
and some of them probably was selling it.
selling them. Yep, selling.
Oh
them.
yeah, for
Black
sure.
people was selling to
Yeah,
black people.
Right.
Oh,
But
black people
still,
say-
even
yeah.
if they was at the end of the day, it doesn't make it right for the people to come over here and work them the way they was.
No, of course
Because
it's
I
not
hear
right.
arguments where people say, well, your people sold people to the white people, but at the end of the day,
Oh, it's
You
not
s-
even that's not even an argument. Of
it's,
course
it's
it's
still
not
not.
right.
You still had to work them and kill them and you know what I mean, make them still.
And it was different type of slaves too. You had like a porch nigga, like you know what I mean. You had all types of different shit back in the day. I mean, and that's crazy, but it's real.
Oh,
Like you had
yeah.
ones that was cool that was able to sleep in the white people's house because they was the clean,
Yeah, that was the ones that would listen and you knew would
and
would
they did
tell on
everything
people.
against because they like, yo,
You
if I
feel
can
me?
get this nigga to think that he can get away, whatever, and I can get him
I'm gonna
against his
feed
people,
them. I'm gonna give them
because they don't. You think they really like Steve said? You think they see a big buff black motherfucker walk up on them? You think they really want to see him toe to toe? No, they like. But if I can get this big black motherfucker to calm all these other motherfuckers down, I'm good.
Right, so I'm
'Cause
gonna
they can't
feed
beat
him.
him.
He ain't gotta work.
Nope.
He ain't gotta be out in that sun.
And we
I'm
more-
gonna make him work in the sun to see how I feel. And then I'm gonna put him in here and show him how good it is. So
Hold
he
the
don't wanna
gun.
Go back
and he
out
talk
there.
To him like,
He
where
gonna-
you going, nigga? He talking just like them, like they are.
And they more advanced. We can show y'all we can give y'all the quote unquote the gospel. We can tell y'all that, you know, you supposed to be this way. And
Right.
I was at a funeral the other day, and it's crazy because even at black churches, Jesus on the thing is white,
Bible.
and it's like
that Bible, man.
it's like crazy. So it's like, speaking of the Bible, you think, I don't know which one is real, but do you think just the God that overpowers everyone, whether it's Allah or Jesus or whatever, is looking down like, y'all motherfuckers is on some bullshit?
Yeah, 'cause-
I was gonna come back, but fuck y'all on some bullshit. This is
Yeah.
not what I wanted to
'Cause
shit.